Book one was about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. She's the author of two books, Light Through and Living Well, none other than Miss Harriet Cabelly.
That's right. Thank you for having me on, Daniel. Thank you.
Welcome, Miss Harriet, on Book One Review. And can you please introduce more by yourself that I miss?
Okay, so I'm Harriet. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I specialize in grief and loss and helping people cope and grow through their challenges. I live on the East Coast of the United States in the cold, wintry city now of New York. I am a mommy and a grandma, and I love ballroom dancing and
Mm,
life itself.
life itself, yes. New York, New York, New York.
And my accent shows it.
Okay, we love your accent, Miss Harriet. So today let's talk about your book and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. Miss Harriet. Thank you. Your work centers on finding light through darkness. Beyond metaphor, what does the light actually represent? Is it joy, wisdom, resilience, purpose, or something else entirely?
Oh, you said all the right words. It's all of the above. I never even thought of it to encompass all of those great words, but yes, it's all of that. And it was
I
put
love it.
it was put out after I went through my cancer treatment.
That's be enlightenment for sure. Many see adversity as an obstacle to overcome as quickly as possible. How do you help people reframe it as a necessary terrain to travel through with its own landscape and potential for discovery?
Woohoo! Loaded question. Boy, oh boy. Well, that's really
Mm,
what I work on with people and with myself, that resiliency is a muscle. We can grow it, we can build it. And as humans, we're all going to go through our share of problems and challenges and adversities. And the goal is to create a good life despite. And I like to
this.
say that because we only have one life. And if we
Mm,
let our challenges knock us down, that's it. So we have to
mm,
figure out ways to create a good life despite.
mm. Despite people, despite. We love that, Miss Harriet. There's a difference between a toxic positivity and hope you advocate for. How do you acknowledge and honor the profound pain of a situation while simultaneously holding the space for possibility of meaning?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's a very important distinction because we're not Pollyanna-ish, and we're not waiting for the magic sprinkly of sawdust to drop down on us. We're acknowledging hardship and pain, and we're allowing our feelings of grief and sadness to come in, while at the same time holding together the hope and the light and the possibility. So it's not an either or, it's a holding together. It's pain and the possibility of joy. And that word and is very important because it links both realities. And we strive for that. We strive for the hope, the light, and the joy through the pain and through the darkness.
Through the pain, indeed. So, in your view, is the ability to find meaning in suffering an innate trait or a set of skills and perspectives that can be consciously developed by anyone?
Yes, it can. And the person that um, I really studied and I really took after his work is Dr. Viktor Frankl, who wrote the book Man's Search for Meaning, which to me is a life changing classic book and it needs to be read by everybody. He's someone who went through concentration camps. He was a psychiatrist in Vienna. And when he came out of it, he had lost his whole family during World War II. And he then sat down and wrote this book in 8 days. And he speaks about the concept that it's as one of his big concepts is the idea that it's not the circumstances, it's not what befalls us, it's rather how we respond and react to what happens to us. So we may be a victim to our circumstances, but we need not remain a victim in our mindset. And in that regard, we can then look to create meaning out of the hardship and the challenges that we go or have come through.
Indeed, logotherapy, people, logotherapy.
That's the
Yes,
word, logotherapy.
definitely. So, Miss Harriet, let's talk about the personal journey and internal shift. A pivotal moment in this journey is often the shift from asking, "Why is happening to me?" to a new question. What is the more empowering question you guide people ask? Why does it change everything?
Yes, and that's a great, great concept and very important. I went through that many years ago when I had my second daughter, who we found out was going to have lifelong disabilities. And I went into my own tailspin of grief. And the key question I kept drowning in was the question of why? Why me? Why do bad things happen to good people? And the amazing therapist that I had for a year helped me shift away from that unanswerable question because it's an existential question that nobody knows that we don't know why bad things happen, right? We don't know why tsunamis happen and why babies die of AIDS and all kinds of stuff. There's never an answer to why. And if we get stuck in that why, we're gonna drown. The better questions to ask to help us come out of that darkness and find a new way forward is the how can I go forward, and what can I do to move forward, how do I cope, how do I grow from this. So it's changing the why to the how and the what, and those two words, those two different types of questions can change our whole trajectory in life because the why keeps us really stuck in the muck and it's not answerable. We can create our own answers, but there's no definitive answer to any of it. It's just what we come up with. So it's kind of a futile exercise. So shifting the question guides us to a better path forward.
Yes, people, big why? So, what does effective acceptance look like in the midst of grief, illness, or loss? How is it different from passive resignation, and what small action might it inspire?
So passive is could be more resignation and active can be more accepting the reality of what is and taking steps to cope and to deal with the reality. And in terms of acceptance, it's it's about accepting. It's about, and it's kind of ties into what we said before. It's not being Pollyanna-ish that, oh, tra la la, everything's great. We hope, but we never know. But we take steps, baby steps, to help us stay afloat so that we could find some bits of light and some bits of joy. And those are the types of steps, and then there's specific things within that that can help keep us, I want to say, above water, so to speak, so that we don't sink. And it's really becomes a mindset. I mean, we really have to be very intentional about doing this and about recognizing that we have that choice in how we respond and take on the darkness, if I can say it like that.
Miss Harriet, when someone is In the thick of darkness, the world can shrink to the size of their pain. What is one practical way to gently begin widening their aperture to notice small moments of goodness or connection again?
I love it. To how to widen that lens. Yes, it may sound simplistic, but the idea of gratitude is, which we know is widely researched over the years, that it's a very necessary ingredient in our well-being. Um, and again, it sounds simplistic, but there's an exercise, we call it the three blessings, where every night or every day we write down three or a few things that we're grateful for, or as I like to say, and I didn't coin it, Martin Seligman, founder of positive psychology, coined it, WWW, what's working well, which obviously is a form of gratitude. Looking for what's working well, even in the throes of darkness. So, for instance, when I was going through my chemotherapy, and it's gruesome and it's painful and it's sickening and it's all the negatives, what was working well? Well, mine came in the summer. So I could say what was working well was I could have visitors because they came to visit me out on my deck and backyard. If it was in the winter, I wouldn't have had people come in because I don't want to be exposed to all the germs. So what was working well for me at that time was being able to have people come and visit me. Something else, what was working well, when I felt okay, I could go out for an hour or two to the numerous gardens or nature preserves in my area. So at night, when I would write my little gratitude journal, I would say, today my friend Miriam came to visit me. We had great little talks and laughs. Today, I felt good enough for an hour. I could get up and go to a pretty flower garden a half hour away. So it's looking for the bits of light, of joy within the day, within the darkness that we could keep in our head. And that is like a buoy to help keep us afloat and say, within the darkness, let's also find the bits of light and the bits of goodness. Just as an example, those are the two that I'm using now, but there were oh so many. And in my book, I call it 10 miracles because I looked at as the whole picture that there were a whole lot of miracles that I viewed as miracles along my cancer journey.
You talk about finding renewed meaning. How does a person begin to reconstruct their sense of identity and purpose after the foundation of their health, relationship, or career has been shattered?
Right. And that's the work of rebuilding, and that's the work of saying, look what I've gone through, whether it's a divorce, whether it's a sickness, whether it's having a child with a disability as I have. And how do you say, I'm going to reconstruct around this reality, new dreams, new hopes, new expectations. So, for instance, coming out of my cancer treatment, to rebuild my life looked for me like I don't want to go back to life as it was. I don't want to just resume, as people would say to me, oh, now you could just resume your life. You finished. But that didn't speak to me, the idea of resuming. It's more like you go through something earth shattering, it minimizes it to me to just resume and let's pick up the pieces. Rather, carving out something new, something different, reconfiguring yourself into this new person after what you've been through. So my daily mantra to myself when I meditate or when I think is, I've been given the gift of life as I see it after coming through cancer. Now I want to pay it forward. So for me, the idea of paying it forward is reclaiming new meaning, rebuilding, and creating something good out of something bad, which then brings out meaning, such as what I'm doing with you. Sharing what I've been through, sharing my voice, sharing my ideas, sharing my hope in the hope that it gives others hope and light and the and the ability to see that they can do it too. It's there. It's there in all of us. We just have to tap into it.
Very well said, Miss Harriet. Very well said and empowering indeed. Looking back on your own life, on the lives of those you've guided, what is a common gift or strength that consistently emerge from navigating significant adversity, often the person's own surprise?
Their their strength that they never thought they had. That they can look back and say, wow, until I was tested or until I went through this, I never knew I could. If you would have asked me beforehand, I would have said, no way, I can't go through that. I'll never do that. It's almost like the idea that we can't look into the future and see ourselves in a crystal ball almost is a pleasant surprise because it shows us that look at this. If you would have told me a year ago, I would have said, no, I can't do this. But you know what? We do what we have to do because there is no choice, right? We put one step in front of the other and we do it. So, in answer to your question, what's one of those things that I found in myself and my clients say is strength. Strength that they didn't know they actually had. And that's a great foundational piece because then going forward, when there's other challenges that come up, and we all have, stuff that comes up, we at least have the foundation and the confidence to know, wait a second, you know what? I went through something really hard and I was able to do it and come through it. I'll hopefully do it again because I know I can and I know I have the strength. And that too is empowering.
Definitely empowering, Miss Harriet. So, how does living through a finding light in darkness ultimately change a person's relationship with fear, uncertainty, and future challenges?
So the fear is there. When we go through difficult times, again, like we were talking before, you don't want to ignore those painful feelings. You don't want to just say, oh no, I'm not afraid. There's no fear. You want to allow in all of the feelings. It's like I had a positive psychology professor, Tal Ben Shachar, who said, all of our feelings run through one pipeline. If we shut off the valve to the negative and kind of numb ourselves and don't give space for the bad feelings to come through the negatives, we're shutting off the valve for the positives. So we allow fear in, we allow sadness in, we allow anger in. Whatever we're feeling, we give it space. We acknowledge, yeah, we're normalizing. As humans, we're given a palette of all kinds of feelings, good and bad, hard and easy. So we give permission for them to be there and we sit with it. And as we do, it's like clouds. It on its own starts to shift and move. It's when we push it away or say, oh, no, I can't feel angry. I can't feel grief. It's going to come out in other ways. It's going to. I mean, people go drinking and drugging. It's all to numb because we don't know as a society, we don't do well with helping people and teaching people how to live and cope with all the feelings. It's normal to feel sad and bad and angry. And we need to allow it to be there. And it's in the allowing it to be there and to say it's okay, we're able to come through it. It's when we push it away that we have such resistance and problems. Does that make sense? It's kind of counterintuitive.
Makes sense, Miss Harriet. Makes sense. And before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in sixth season, abstract poetry in third season, and of course, my book 101 review in sixth season as well, comedy 101 in third season, and my food 101 in sixth season as well, geography 101, love letters, movie 101 review, music 101, our fourth season. Science 101, Sex 101 in its third season, Trivia 101, Law 101, Mental Health 101, Motivation 101, Entrepreneurship 101, and of course, my Bible Verses 101. are my baby podcasts. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcasts. So, Miss Harriet, if we could leave our listeners with one foundational practice of truth to remember when they next themselves in the darkness, what would it be?
Write down the three things that went well that day, however small they are. You were able to sit with a hot mug of chocolate and look out your window just to hold on to small bits of light each and every day.
Each and every day. Thank you, Miss Harriet,
Thank
for giving your wisdom and knowledge to the world. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your books?
so my books are Light Through Darkness, Miracles Along My Cancer Journey, and this one, which was done a few years ago, Living Well Despite Adversity, Inspiration for Finding Renewed Meaning and Joy in Your Life.
Yes, people, let's support Miss Harriet Cabelly because if you support her, for sure, more and more empowering books like this to rise. So, I have one more question, Miss Harriet. For the person who emerged from the dark period and is now the season of relative calm, what advice do you have for honoring the journey and integrating those hard-won lessons into joyful new normal?
Live your life with vibrancy and curiosity and openness and vitality and embrace it. It's the only one we've got.
Yes, people, embrace it because life is too short. Seize your day. So, Miss Harriet, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me, Daniel.
Modicon people, see you soon.